Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I am setting up my Filofax in personal size for 2020, which honestly I can't believe. I feel like I was just doing this with a Hobonichi Weeks like a couple of days ago. This is just sometimes crazy how time is going by so quickly. Anyway, there's going to be a few things that I do in this video that maybe you've seen before if you've seen my videos, and if so, I apologize, but I'm going to try to be thorough with this video for my setup and not assume that you know what something is. So to get started, I have my setup from Christmas, which has remained the same except for I took like my cover paper off after Christmas was finished. So December 26th, I removed that. Let me see, I think I have it in a stack here with some Christmas cards. This was the first year we didn't do Christmas cards, but we usually do like a family photo, which we didn't do this year. And so I didn't send Christmas cards. Anyway, I can't find it right offhand. I took it off. That's all that matters, I guess. And I put back on here this front pocket, which is a card pocket that I use just as kind of like a dashboard. And the reason why I put this here is because what is usually a dashboard, I usually don't laminate. Sometimes I put one of the Filofax original clear dashboards up front there, but I kind of like the whole family photo thing. So I'm going to take this out because I have some changes that I'm making to that. And then I'm going to be switching out my ollie clip from this buffalo plaid for Christmas. And then I will be taking my dividers out as well. Since I am making some changes to the guts, I'm also going to just take everything else out right at the moment. And that leaves me with what I have in the main planner itself. So I'll just go ahead and go through that really quickly. I don't believe I have anything in here. I usually don't keep anything in here just because change kind of bulks this area up, and I like to keep my planner as light as possible. I have my driver's license, my insurance card, my debit card, and then a photo of my husband and I here. I have, $3. $3 in the money section. And then here I have some clear white stitched, not clear, some white stitched labels that I frequently use in my planner. And then twice a year, our church has a food donation. And I need to throw this away. And so this is just for me to remember what I'm supposed to collect to donate for the next Sunday. And so I just have these back here. I am carrying a Pilot friction pen, and I'm carrying this style because practically nothing fits in this pen loop. So I have developed a hack for this one. This is a friction point, so it's not a clicker. The clicker is my favorite. But the two friction pens that fit the best in the Malden pen loop are the friction pencil-like, and the Japanese version of this, which is my favorite, is really hard to find now. I guess they've started doing away with them. There is a US version, but I prefer the Japanese version. So this is a Japanese version as well. It's a friction point, and it comes with a 0.4 needle tip point, but I refill it with the 0.7 Japanese refills. So that's the way I prefer to use a friction pen, but I need it to be able to fit in the pen loop here. So I have it set up like this. I don't have anything here in the back pocket. And then I have my woolly planner, Gnome Charm, attached to the bottom. I like him because I like gnomes, and he doesn't like clang around a bunch because he's made out of wool. So I will leave a link to her shop below. I know that she is closed for just a couple of days while she catches up on orders and probably spends some time with her family. So my sections are not going to change as I go back in and refill this. I'm going to make just a couple of changes to this, which I like to open this and see my family. I have kind of carried this little doodad around with me, but I am not feeling the black and white vibe so much anymore. I'm into earthy tones and things like that, which is good for me because I do prefer them. And since studying the whole seasonal color analysis and discovering that I am an earthy color, that's working out great for me. So everything is kind of going to have an earthy vibe to it. I am going to take that out and replace it, since I couldn't find anything that immediately I was like, oh yes, this is perfect. I'm replacing it with a photo of the Golden Gate Bridge from my husband and I's sunset cruise that we took when we went to San Francisco in September to see Metallica with the symphony. And if I can get my clumsy fingers to work here, I'll put the photo of us. These were last year's family photos. We always have family photos done in the fall because it's my favorite time of the year. And then I just have some older photos here, some photos of our dogs. And I will replace this with something else to keep from seeing the like Canon paper. This is sticker paper, but obviously I don't need it to be a sticker in here. But I'll put this here and then I'll find something else to stick in that section. But I like these just kind of for showcasing like a piece of a memory. When I open up my planner, I'm a pretty nostalgic person, being an Enneagram 4, and so this is something that I like to see when I open my planner. By the way, I print these photos with the Canon Ivy printer. I do have a review that I had done last year. I guess it's been a bit over a year that I made that video. There are a lot of different mini photo printers out there, and that has been the one that I feel like has the best coloring. None of these are going to be as good as if you had your photos professionally printed from like a real printer or even the Canon Selfie. But for me personally, having tried the Kodak and the HP and the Canon, I prefer the look of the Canon. I feel like it has a better quality than the other two. Again, not as good as having the pictures like printed on a better quality machine, but for something that you can take around with you, that one's the best, in my opinion. So I'm going to just go with these dividers that I made a couple of years ago. I really like the colors of these. Oh, here's my Christmas one. That was what was up front. So I will file these because I do reuse my dividers and things. So this is actually what I was using this fall when I first got back into rings. And I just really like these kind of muted colors. It's a little less earthy than I would prefer, but I'm struggling to find something that I like more. So I'm just going to use these for now. I do have some spring papers that I'm going to be using, but it's not spring yet. So I'm just going to go with those. I think that they work well with the Malden, and I like them. So I'm just going to put that there. My first section is the monthly section. So I'm going to put my first divider in, and then I'm going to set this one to the side. I'm gonna put this one down first, set this to the side so I can file it away. Next I have my So Much Crafting inserts for 2020, and I'm not going to take out what I have in here so far. I have October through December in here, and I'm going to leave all of that for now. And then I have a post-it here just stuck to the outside, and this was to remind myself where I have been with my haircut for the year, which this isn't in order, but I found the trim first. I've been trying to grow out a pixie, but right before we went to San Francisco, I had my hair cut shorter again, and then I've let it grow, and we're gonna see how I go with that. I usually go somewhere between a pixie and a bobbish style, but I usually give up. I'm gonna try not to give up. So the next insert that I have is the week, and so I'm going to remove the Christmas one and put in the week. I make my labels with my Dymo. It's an old school label maker, and it just prints out stickers well, you peel it away and it becomes a sticker. But I have the clear ones that go inside of it, and I just like the way that looks. I like the retro font. I like that kind of thing. So these aren't going to change either. I will just put them in here to show them to you. I am using So Much Crafting inserts for my weeklies, and I am using, I'm not sure exactly what they're called right this second. I will link to this particular layout at the So Much Crafting shop, but you can choose for this to be lined or unlined if you're using like Erin Condren boxes a lot, or you can write in a straight line without the help of lines. Then you would have that option. I have to have lines or grids to write on. I like this one because I don't frequently have a lot going on in one day, but I do like to have places to organize things. So I like to have a tracker. I like to have my work separate from the day, and then I can put my meals here, and then I put like a running to-do list up here. And these separate by month in case you were using the monthly pages in between. So this was the changeover from December to January, but this was Christmas week, and this is this week so far. It's only Tuesday, the last day that I could get ready a setup for 2020, but my inserts actually just came last night, and today is my day off, so I thought that the timing worked perfectly. What I usually do is I use an ollie clip or one of the clear rulers from Filofax. Let me grab the right ollie clip here. Okay, so I really usually like to use this one. It's the Strata series, and it's very earthy. And what I like to do is clip whatever month I am in. So we'll just go ahead and, let's say I turn it to January. So I would turn it to January and I would clip these together. However, now that I have switched back over to my family photo here, that might be, I might need to rearrange that. But I like to be able to just flip sections. Sometimes I just use the Filofax divider. I keep many of those clear ones. Those are my preference. So at the moment, I'm just going to go ahead and stick this ollie clip here. Let me see. Maybe I'm not going to switch these photos right now. I'm not going to keep it where it's covering my kids' faces up though. Anyway, so I like to clip it like this so it's easy to get to. So now that I have my weeks in here, and I only have through the first quarter of 2020, the next section that I have is my YouTube section. And there are going to be some changes to this one as well. I ordered some new inserts for that. I'm going to stick these in here for now. And then my tracker section, I think this is going to have some changes as well. I'm going to put my tracker in here. And I really like that the rings are so customizable. And I've mentioned that before. I kind of have this issue where if I am doing something and I make a section for it, let's say it was in my Hobonichi weeks, and I'll give you a good example because this has happened. A couple of years ago in my Hobonichi weeks, I used several back pages. I was planning on doing this different way of eating, and it was different categories of foods that you could eat. And I spent all of this time and took up all of this space. And in the end, I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. And I guess I don't like reminders of things that I don't think are relevant anymore for my planner. So something that I really like about using a ring system is that if I decide something isn't working for me, or if I have invested a lot of time in taking notes about something and it's no longer relevant, instead of it bulking up my planner or just being like a constant reminder of something that I don't think is relevant anymore, I'm able to just remove them completely. I can either then store them away in another planner, store them away in some other capacity, or if they have served their purpose and I'm no longer going to need them for the future, then I can just dispose of them. So that's what's going to be happening some today. So here is my list from my Christmas setup, moving over to this one. And this is one of the things that did not work out so well for me. I really wanted to have some prompts in my Filofax for things that I wanted to remember to journal about, since I don't get to journal as frequently anymore. I'm going to leave this in here for the moment, but I will be disposing of this insert. But I like that you're able to do that with rings. I'm going to grab the rest of the papers for that section and put those in. The last section is an address section, which obviously I'm not going to show you on camera. And that's really just a couple of addresses that I like to keep with me in case I pick something up for my friends. I don't want to have to text them and say, hey, what's your address again? And then at the back of my planner, I keep one of the Filofax top-loading envelopes. This is the older variety that isn't that weird, extra bendy, not pleasant to touch insert that they have now. I'm really glad that I at least held on to one of these because I really dislike what they've replaced it with. And I wish they'd bring the old one back. Okay, so that is my planner set up. If I wasn't going to be making changes, I do like to have my planner be not bulky. I don't like to stuff it. I don't like to think that I'm damaging it. I don't like the heft of a stuffed planner. I like to keep just what I need inside. All right. Here are my new inserts, and I'm going to just keep the invoice here so I can tell you exactly what these are named. Some of these I'll just stick a few. Well, that didn't work out very well, did it? Some of these I'll just be sticking a few in of the pages. Let's see. All right, so we have the month on 2-page list. I'm not sure what's marked out there at all. Month on 2-page list. So this is what I used to use to put down a memory, and sometimes I didn't even like journal about it. I just liked having it, but that is not what this is going to be right now. This is going to actually be going into my YouTube section, and I wish I had written it down. I saw it on another video. Someone used these inserts, and I don't even remember how long ago, I'm sorry. But they used Post-it notes to kind of make a mock schedule for their YouTube channel for the month. And then after they actually uploaded and published that video, then they would write when they had the video. But they would kind of put Post-it notes to, or like the flags, to say, you know, I would like to have a plan with me this day. But they put it on a Post-it note so that if that didn't work out for their schedule, then they could just move it to another day, and then they would film it that day. So I really liked the idea of doing that. Currently, I have used my monthly pages to put my YouTube stuff down, and I don't know, sometimes I like a very clean look for my monthly pages, and I don't know, sometimes if I'm filming a lot, I feel like it just kind of clutters the space, especially if it's a month that I actually have things going on. So I thought that this might work well for that, and I had liked this insert in the past. The weekends are grayed so that you can see those really easily. So I will be putting this in my YouTube section, and I think unless I go through here and it starts getting too bulky, I think I'm going to put all of them in here at once. So I'm just going to find my YouTube section and plop these in here. And then I have some papers that I can take out that we're just kind of filling that space. The next are year on 4 pages. And this is what this looks like. Wait a minute, year on 4. This doesn't look like 4 pages. Oh wait, is there more? Okay. Oh, it's more than one. I guess I didn't understand that in listing because it said there was 12 and I didn't understand that. So we have January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, so it is on 4 pages. For whatever reason, I was expecting that to not be repeated, and I also was not expecting these to not be front and back. So I assumed it would be on both sides. So this is where I'm going to track my cycle and just kind of note some irregularities that I have with getting older. So I just want to give myself a dedicated insert to put some more information. Let's see, these are my online orders that I'm tracking. We're tracking our watching Survivor, and then I have a couple of other trackers in here. Let's see, to buy for San Francisco, that doesn't apply anymore. Some extra online orders. I think I'm gonna put this before the TV series and after the online orders. So that's good since it's only 4 pages. That won't take up so much room. And then, what is this? Daily task trackers. This is so I can see how well I'm doing with my tasks in a broader view. So I track it weekly, and then I will transfer the information in here and track it for the month. So the first part of the month is on this page, and then the second part of the month is on this page, and it goes front to back. And then I can also see what I had been tracking earlier in the year, and maybe it's something that I needed to pick up again. So it might be a reminder, hey, you're forgetting to use your rinse after you brush your teeth. You've fallen off of that. I was able to see that by looking at my trackers, and so that might be something that I need to pick back up again. So I'm only going to put one of those in here and have that at the moment. So I'll put the rest away, and then I will put this in my tracking section, and I will need to label that as January, I guess. So I'll go ahead and write that in, but I'm not going to label it yet. This will be something that I'll do at the end of the week. I don't think that it's necessary to write those things down yet. And I'll just note the year. Okay, so I already track these by the week, so I think that comes, I think I'll put that after the TV trackers. Actually, I'll put it after the one we're currently using. And as you can see, I have my next Filofax clear ruler in this section. We are binge watching currently, my husband and I, all of the Survivors up to this point, and we're trying to watch them rather quickly and get caught up. We used to watch it like back in the day, the first couple of seasons. We had no idea that it was still a thing, but yes, it is. This one is your monthly task trackers. So this is where I'm going to put the recurring tasks, which Peanuts Planner Co. has it as reoccurring, but I'm pretty sure that's recurring because it's something that I need to do every month. So I'm not going to fill this out yet, but this is going to have things like change the air filters, sanitize the light switches, that kind of thing, that I don't have to do every day, but it's something that I want to remember to do once a month. Clean out the refrigerator, clean underneath the stove, those kind of things. So I'm going to just be using one of these because it's for the whole year. You do have more of these, and you could use them for things like paying bills and things as well. So if you have your bills and you know that they all are only due once a month, you can use these inserts for that as well. And these, I think I'm gonna put, I'm going to put them right behind my monthly, and I'm not going to fill those out yet either. And so the last thing that I'm adding to my list section is on my wish list. I often go through and just kind of like save things to my cart, and then sometimes it's a place that I don't visit that often and I don't remember the kinds of things that I've been thinking about getting on my wish list. So I'm just going to add one of these pages for now into my planner because, again, I don't like it to be too bulky. This wasn't working for me, so I'm going to go ahead and take this one out. And I'm actually going to be disposing of this because there's no information on here that I need to keep. I've been finding that I've been leaving enough information on my weeklies. If it's something that I want to trigger a memory about, I'm generally writing it down in my weekly. So this is, I think, pretty self-explanatory. If it's an item that I'd like to purchase, I'm going to write it here, how much it is, where I found it, and then I'll check mark if I ever end up getting that. So I think that that's a cool way to keep a list of things that you'd like to have. So I feel like this did bulk it up just a little bit, but even for me, not too much. I really, again, have been enjoying carrying rings, and I like how I can reorganize all of these things if I want to. I don't know, I might end up using another clear ruler here. I haven't decided yet, but I like using the rulers because it's so easy to just flip to the place that you want to be. It's, I think, in my opinion, even easier than using the ollie clip. So that is my setup for 2020, and my planner is now all ready for the new year. What kind of planner are you using this year? I know a lot of people are kind of doing different things. This isn't where I expected myself to end up for the new year. I have kept other options open. I have not gotten rid of my Hobonichi weeks just in case I decide to go back to that. I also still have hung on to a pocket Filofax. For now, the personal size is a very happy place for me. As I've said before, it might not be the most popular size that's out there, but I think the important thing is that you use what works for you and is giving you planner peace at the moment. If you have any questions about anything, be sure to leave them in the comments below and I will answer them the best I can. Thank you so much as always for watching, and Happy New Year, everybody. Bye.